Is it possible to struggle with sin every day and still live in victory? Yes, because live in victory means I don't live in sin. It means that there's no excuses. Yeah, I struggle, so I have to give in. No, God gives me the strength to be able to get through every single day. Everybody in here, if you were honest, struggles with your sinful attitude every single day. The question is, do you give into it consistently, or do you battle against it, and when you fall, do you get back up, and do you fight it, and if you blew it, do you live in it for a month, or do you fight it in 10 minutes, and then come back and confess it? And I mean, growth, as you grow, you're going to have to grow, you're going to struggle. It means to be on this planet means to struggle. That's what it means to know Jesus, but we live in victory because we're not given over to the world. I tell you, when I first became a Christian, I really struggled. And I was really, I would have these thoughts. And it was really strange because I went to my dad, and he said, I said, Dad, I'm really struggling with these thoughts, and I just can't seem to get through them. And he said, well, tell me about the thoughts. And I said, well, it's like I'll have whether it's a struggle to go to alcohol, or to go to lust or whatever. And I go, man, I can't seem to stop the thoughts. And he said, well, let me ask you a question. Do you think you're sinning because you're having the thoughts? I said, well, yeah. He goes, no. Let me just use this for a minute. He made me take a cup, an old cup, and he said, put this on your head. And I'm like, I'm in college, and I'm like, put a cup on my head. And he goes, no, I want you to do it. So I put the cup on my head. And he goes, this is the devil. He comes along, and he puts a thought in your head. Did you sin? I go, well, yeah. He goes, no, you didn't. Depends on what you did with it. If you go, no, I don't want to do that. No, forget it. I'm not going to do that. And you dump it out, so I'm not going to dump all this stuff out, but if you dump it out, you didn't sin, you fought it. And he goes, that's what the devil does to you. And it's true. I want you to think about this. Here's how the devil works. It's brilliant. Have you ever been driving down the road? Usually when we have some thought or another, it's sparked by something we saw or heard or whatever. But you're driving down the road, and all of a sudden this thought comes into your brain out of nowhere. Anybody had that happen? Whether it's lust or anger or an old resentment or whatever, boom, there it is. A lack of faith. Boom, there it is. And you're like, no, I don't want to think that. And you ponder it for a minute, and then the Holy Spirit starts working in your head. You're like, no, I don't want to think that. That's wrong. Here's what the devil loves to do. He does this to me all the time. He puts the thought in there. I reject the thought. He goes, yeah, but you thought about it. You thought about it. You're supposed to be a pastor. You've been a Christian for this long. You don't have the right to talk to anybody about this. You failed so many times. And, now I have to take captive every thought. I have to go, wait a minute. I'm on the team. I said no. I didn't even ponder it. Or maybe I only pondered it for 5 minutes instead of, actually going through with it. Or, and I don't see the growth. I don't see the problem. And then he just shames me, and he's like, you can't go to God. Why doesn't he want you to go to God? Why doesn't he want you to share it with other people? Because he wants to trap you to give you no victory. He wants you to feel shame. He knows if he can separate you from God, then you'll have no strength to actually break that addiction. So he's trying to get to separate you. He wants you to play in the dark where he can twist your mind and your thoughts. And he doesn't want you to confess it to one another. And so that it can come out in the light and everybody go, yeah, me too. Because he wants you to feel you're the only one and you're not worthy to go to church because they're all so perfect.